Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Beast Machines, the Transformers Beast Machines Air Attack Optimus Primal. This is technically part of the Robots in Disguise line, not technically Beast Machines, but this is clearly the Beast Machines Optimus Primal. Now, one thing I have to note is that this guy is supposed to make sounds and light up. I didn't buy this guy new, so it doesn't work, unfortunately. I can't show you the sounds. I can't show you the sounds. I can't show you the lights or let you hear the sounds, but I'll tell you what it's supposed to do in terms of what you do to activate those things. So unfortunately I can't show you that, but nothing I can do about that. This guy's quite rare and quite hard to find for a decent price, so I had to jump on it when I did, and that was the result of that. So first of all, let's show you how big he is. He's really big. He is 12 inches tall, almost exactly in robot mode, and this guy's best side is definitely his robot mode. I'll show you the beast mode, but it's not as great as I would like it to be. It's not 100% accurate to the show, as none of the Optimus Primals are from Beast Machines, but it's still fairly accurate, and it's still pretty cool. So the first thing is, there is supposed to be a sound for, it's called power up mode, and that is when you do this. You can push the head down to do that, or you can also press on the chest and it will do something. Again, I can't show you that. I'll show you all the features it has first before we go into articulation. There's also another feature on the back where you press this button right here, and if you remember, Optimus had like a jetpack thing going on in Beast Machines because he had it in Beast Wars. So you press this gray button right here and his jetpack comes out, and this is supposed to look like flame, whereas it's supposed to look like fur while it's up here. It looks like flame here, and it looks like it's supposed to light up. Of course I can't show you that though. That's kind of a cool feature, not really necessary, but it is kind of cool, and I like the way it tucks in. And just snap that in there. This flap up here is supposed to be like that, but since that's technically a monkey butt, I don't really like the monkey butt showing, so I just leave it folded back. And it doesn't look good from the side, but from the front, it's fine. Another feature he has is punching mode, or punch mode as they call it in the instructions, and that is just that you put the arm in whatever position you want, and then you pull back on his armor, and it's just spring loaded, and you let go and it punches. So it's not really the most effective, but it just kind of makes the arm go in that motion. I don't really like most of the features on this guy. I do wish I had the sounds and lights working, but the punching mode, not that great. And if you had depth charge from the original Beast Wars show, if you remember his shooting function, and that's very similar. You can see right here he's got the shooting thing there, and you just press this tab down here. Let's just open this up to get out of the way. Just press this tab and it shoots the discs out of the chest. Very similar to depth charge, but since it's Optimus, we have a cool blue disc, and he did shoot out of his chest in the show. Only he cannot store them. He only has the one, and you press it once and it shoots. It's not like depth charge in that regard. Okay, the other cool thing about this, which I don't know how it broke, but it broke before I bought it, so I can't show you again, is he has like a motion sensor in him. So if you have him flying around, which he could fly obviously, if you have him flying around, it senses the motion. So if you go forward or backwards or side to side, it actually recognized that and made sounds based on that. So I thought that was a really cool feature. Again, I'm bummed out I can't show you, but it is what it is. So anyway, onto the articulation. The head can swivel. Both arms have a ratcheted swivel for going up and down. The armor gets in the way, but we do have a hinge going out to the side, which is also ratcheted. And you can kind of just tuck that in. So once you get it posed, it's really not a big deal, but you can't use this little tab and snap that in up here while it's in an open position, so you can't do that. But that's okay, once you pose it, it's alright. You have a bicep swivel on this side. It's all ratcheted. We have an elbow hinge, gives you 90 degrees, and then we can rotate the wrist around in there. Unfortunately, you cannot rotate the forearm, which is this big piece here, but you can rotate the wrist. The thumb is hinged. Each finger is hinged at the large knuckle and at the middle knuckle, so you can get some posing done. I'm sure a lot of people are going to do the middle finger. That's not really my style, so I don't really concern myself with that. But this side, being that it has that hinge mechanism in there, it doesn't have the bicep swivel. It does technically have the elbow joint, and the wrists are all the same, and the shoulders all the same, but it has that mechanism built in, so it's a little cumbersome. You can kind of work around it. This piece here, you'll notice mine keeps falling down. It's just a ball peg in there. It's supposed to hold it in place like this back one does. It doesn't really fall down at all. It stays in place. This one's a little loose. But I do like that he has these big old arms, because that was how he looked in the show. And they're made out of translucent plastic. I don't think that's very accurate, but it's kind of cool at the same time because it has this cool white paintwork on there, and it does have a fair amount of paint throughout. One thing on the chest, it's supposed to be like this because you can see the Maximal logo on there very faintly, but I've also seen people keep it like this, if I can spin it around. And I don't remember, I think that's only for beast mode technically, and the Maximal logo is upside down, but it does look cool. And I thought he looked like this in robot mode, but I don't really remember, it's been ages. But you have the option either way. The directions tell you to put it like this, so that's up to you. He does have a waist twist, so that's pretty awesome. It's always nice to have a waist twist. Hips ratcheted to the side, ratcheted forward, knee joint. We have a knee joint there. You don't want to pull it all the way back like this, but you can. It just opens it all up inside. So that knee joint works pretty well. I like the way that you can get him posed well enough in robot mode. Then the ankles, I think, are the best part though. We have an ankle rocker, so it actually ratchets in place. Of course, that limits some posability, but for a Transformer, that's pretty good. And then we also have a regular ankle hinge that kind of tucks in on itself, so you can still pose him nicely, but it goes backwards one click and forwards one click. So it's not the greatest range of motion in the world, but for a big gorilla Transformer, I think it's pretty darn good. So that's the robot mode. I do really appreciate this figure because I'm a big Optimus Primal fan, but also because it's a really big Transformer and it looks cool. Just standing on the shelf, it's going to be a nice piece to have, I think. So that's his robot mode. I really do recommend it for that. Let me get him transformed into beast mode and I will show you that. Okay, so we have him in his beast mode, and like I said, it's not super great. It's not horrible, but it's not very great, very good at all. Having him stand on his hands and feet like that, he's about, to the top of his back, he's almost 8 inches. To the top of his head, he's about 7. If you'll notice, it doesn't really look like Optimus. He had really big cheeks in the show, so that takes away a lot. I think if they were able to give him those cheeks, it would have made him look a lot better, because that head's not that awesome. Then the arms, they just don't really work well. You would want the arms to come forward more like that, but you can't do that with this armor here, so you have to leave the arms to the side and then bring the armor down. So I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not good. As far as the light up features, you can push down on his head and it does, I don't know, it's called power up mode. You push on the head and it does that, and you just have these little prongs that go in here and that activates that. You can push on the chest as well for power up mode. For punch mode, it's the same thing. You pull back on the arm and it punches. It works better in beast mode, but it's still kind of not so great. And then he's got one kind of cool feature, which is you watch out for his butt flap and you lift up on his abdomen like this, and it puts him in gorilla mode and it makes different sounds and lights. So it's kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. I don't care for it all that much. And you can still shoot technically if you lift his head up. You can still use the shooter thingy up here. I guess I'll go over the articulation. There's none for the head. It rotates, but then you can't, I mean, I don't know, it rotates. That's it though. There's no head articulation, it's just the neck. So I guess it's better than nothing, but it's not great. Again, there's a whole lot of not great. Arms are all the exact same. All you do to put it in beast mode is to turn these around. Those were on the shoulders before, now they're on the forearms. And then you swap the thumb. It just flips from side to side. So nothing special there. You saw the torso articulation, which is just that hinge for the gorilla mode. Hips are the exact same hips. And then there's no articulation for the feet really, because it all folds up. The lower legs fold up into the back legs. And then that's really it. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's not usable. Then for just something to note, the piece that was in the abdominal section before, like this, They tell you it should have been left like that, and then the butt should have fit over it somehow, but they tell you to turn this around and just stick it out like this. Not like that. That's probably how it got loose in the first place. But they tell you to stick it out like that, and it just looks stupid. So if you want to pop it off, you can pop it off, and then it makes him look a little bit better, I think. So I would probably just pop that off completely. I know that sucks, but grammar people, put a comma where it belongs. I know that sucks, comma, but it does make him look better to pop that out. So anyway, that's the beast mode. It's not very good. Robot mode's pretty cool. If you can get him for a good deal and you're a fan of Optimus Prime or Optimus Primal, then I do recommend it. I do like this figure a lot despite its flaws, but there's a whole lot of nostalgia speaking there, so bear that in mind. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.